Hello and welcome back to my channel. A little bit different with the Sims video. I know that I'm usually kind of in the shadows for a Sims video, but today we are doing something very special for which I have a lot of accessories, as you can see. Today we are going to be doing something very special. We're giving Gabriel Reyes the life he deserves, and he does deserve a good life, despite what some of you might think. So a fun fact about Overwatch is that I used to love it. Actually late in my Twitch career, I used to play it a lot, but you know, just as I left Twitch, I kind of like abandoned Overwatch, which is sort of sad. And then that whole controversy with the Hong Kong protest happened around the same time, so I just kind of was like, I've dropped it and I'm fine with it. But lately I've kind of been gravitating more towards it again, and I don't know, I've never been exceptionally good at it, but I've always been a fan of the lore. And the one person whose lore I'm more interested in than anyone else is my sweet boy Gabe. Reaper. He's just so sad, and I think he deserves better than what he got. So I am giving him the life he deserves. Gabriel, that is, not Reaper. Reaper can choke. Reaper knows what he did. I feel like The Sims 4 and Overwatch is a really good combination because they both have this very expressive, cartoony sort of style, and that works. I like that. I like it when things look the way I want them to. One thing I was determined to do was not do Gabe dirty in terms of skin tone. I feel like that's something that creators can do very easily, and I wanted to avoid it. So I ended up spending an ungodly amount of time like holding up my phone trying to swatch it better, and I think I'm happy with what I got. I could have done better, and fortunately I've found a way to unfuck custom skin tones, so in the next one I can do better. I'm not exceptionally happy with the nose and mouth on him. Like, I know that I did good, but I could have done better, especially through the mouth. But I'm really happy with how the hair came out. I mostly based the whole design on the Soldier 24 skin, which I feel is like the better looking one. Am I being like shallow? Like a little. When I set out to make him, I wanted to give him kind of a lot of embellished clothing because he seems like a very stylish man. But, you know, I also wanted to keep that sort of gothy aesthetic that, you know, we love so much from him. So he ended up getting a lot of blacks and reds in his palette, mostly like reds when it was something formal, like a party, like something flashy, and then blacks when he's just like hanging out, working out, doing his own thing. I like the balance. I think it came out well. Fun fact about this house is that I already built it. I already did this. Like, I did it once and I hated it, and then I had to redo it. Fuck that. So, when I made the house, my main thought was like modern architecture. Gabriel is a modern man, he lives in the future, it makes sense. And I actually fuck with boxy sort of architecture like that already, so this was right up my alley. This was fine for me. At the same time, if I have complaints, it's mostly about the outside. I think I should have used more columns, just because I always tend to ignore columns whenever I'm building. It's just a personal problem. And so when there's the Mansion Baron aspiration asks you to use a lot of columns, like up to 30 or something, I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? It turns out fine, it's just like I struggle initially. Fun fact, the kitchen does not actually work. It was supposed to work and then it didn't. What ended up happening was, like just the counter space is like too narrow, I guess. So what ended up happening was, like, he tried to go to the fridge and just couldn't, and I didn't feel like fixing it. So just the kitchen's weirdly narrow in that way. Sorry, Gabe. You're not gonna eat very much, pal. Each room is kind of monochromatic in a way, which I didn't plan. That's just kind of the way that I end up decorating and dressing and living my life, which is upsetting. I feel like I could have done maybe a little bit more, but I'm not sure what I would have done. So, it's one or the other. I probably should try to do some kind of color theory at some point in my life in a build, and this just wasn't it. Sorry, Gabe. But at the same time, like, I feel like he wouldn't really be too into decorating besides just, like, shunting his stuff in there anyway. Like, most of the better decoration sort of items he probably got as, like, gifts from other people, like Anna, and he just kind of threw it in there, like, I guess this lives here now because Anna will be mad if I don't display it, kind of thing. I characterize Anna as such a mom, like a mom friend, and I think that's just kind of, like, because she's a mother. But, like, I don't know, a lot of, when I think about Overwatch in terms of, like, the headcanon, it usually ends up being like, and Anna's everybody's mother. It's like, I'm not even sure if that's really her personality at all. I think that's just how I like to think about her. And, like, the reason that I bring up Anna so much is because I kind of consider her to be, unfortunately, one of Gabe's better friends. He has, like, two friends, and it's Anna and it's Jack. And so, like, of course she's gonna be the one being like, Gabriel, your house is terrible. Here, put this on the walls. Just, like, that level of concern for him. Because the reason that I know that that's a thing is because my friends have been concerned for me in the past and been like, your walls are so blank. And then, like, they'll be like, can I, like, make art for you to put on your fucking walls? And I'll be like, yes. Or Brie will, like, bring in a bunch of clutter because that's just how her decorating is. Am I saying that I'm projecting onto Gabe? Absolutely. So, the overall vibe was that I wanted, like, a modern exterior, but, like, with a haunted house vibe on the inside. So, the way that I kind of see it in the fiction is, like, it's a modern industrial house, Gabe bought it that way, and then he moved in all of his weird shit. I feel like that's appropriate. But, like, because that's how houses are. Like, they're blank slates until you put your shit in there. The Paranormal Stuff Pack helped me get, like, a lot of good quirky things for him. I think I, like, wanted to use the little cowplant terrarium because it's so cute. And I wanted to use it more than I ended up using it, which is probably for the best, because otherwise there would have been a cowplant terrarium in every single room. I'm also a big fan of the hand. I didn't get to play with the pack too much because I mostly wanted to use it to decorate Gabe's home, and I figured I'd mess with it later. But my understanding is that the hand kind of plays into that. I don't think I gave him the seance table, but I know that the crystal ball landed in his study somewhere. And I know that I, like, was exceptionally proud of, like, how it swirled around. I actually used to have a little, like, it was a light that did that. It was like a crystal ball light. It was made of, like, soft plastic. And on the inside was, like, this sort of, like, glimmer dust and, like, red liquid, like, red opaque liquid. And then, like, you turn it on and it was a light, and it was one of my favorite things. I have no idea where that light is right now. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably, like, in the closet of my father's study somewhere, just kind of wilting. I don't know, maybe he uses it. If I weren't avoiding custom content, I probably would have tried to, like, put in some weird taxidermy stuff for him, or, like, more skulls, just, like, cool stuff. I ended up not doing very much custom content and not a lot of, like, debug stuff. I don't know, I don't think to put in debug stuff when I'm actually, like, building for myself for real. And then I don't know why I avoid custom content in builds like this, given that I use custom content to make The Sims occasionally. I don't know, I go back and forth in this series a lot with, like, should I use custom content? When is it okay? When is it not okay? I think I just need to bite the bullet and just use it more. My favorite section of this house is, like, that open staircase off the kitchen. It took me the longest time, but I'm so proud of the result, because I wanted it to be, like, a very tall kitchen. In a lot of the reference pictures that I was looking at while I was planning out the build, which was mostly, like, modern Mexican architecture, which I have zero exposure to outside of research for this, a lot of the rooms were very large and had, like, these very high ceilings and very wide windows, so I wanted to give Gabe some of that action, and I think it came out beautifully. My least favorite room is his bedroom. I couldn't get it to look the way I wanted it to, and even now I'm not completely satisfied with that. I think part of it is that, like, the bed is weird. I don't know what it is about the bed that I don't like, but none of the beds were doing it for me, and I'm like, you know, you could just use the custom content bed that you downloaded, like, days ago for, like, a different purpose. You could just use that, and it's like, stay back, Satan. We're not using custom content today. When I did the back garden and the front yard, I wanted it to be more welcoming than how Gabe is. I mentioned earlier that I see Anna as, like, kind of his best friend outside of that weird love-hate thing he has with Jack. And I mean love platonically, more or less. I don't know, ship what you want. It's not something I usually end up going after. But, like, I see Gabe as kind of, like, Farrah's weird uncle, so... like, I wanted him to have kind of a space where he could, like, entertain them, maybe have, like, a nice cookout, just something really wholesome and sweet, like what he deserves. So, I think that if Gabe had gotten the life that he deserves, it would have been spending time between his, like, respected colleagues and, like, having just wholesome uncle time with Farrah and, like, good pal time with Anna. Maybe, like, high-key, low-key adopting McCree and, like, pulling, Uncle Iroh and, like, letting him sleep in his study. But I want him to have that life where he's, like, surrounded by friends and family and, like, appreciated for all of the hard, dirty work that he had to do to make Overwatch work. I'm still mad that he got passed over for someone who looked like a hero. Like, get fucked! He's my hero! But no, he deserves so much better, and I'm mad that he didn't get it, and I hope that, like, this kind of, like, high-key, low-key rectifies that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you want to see more of this kind of thing. Let me know if you want to see me be bad at Overwatch. I'm willing to do it in front of an audience. I've done it before, I'll do it again. And just, you know, let me know what you think. I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.